How's it going, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU, and Wandavision is now over. Most of us by now have watched the finale, and if you haven't, you need to get on that because it's truly awesome. And not only that, but now we're moving forward into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. They started filming, then it was put on hold due to the pandemic, but filming is going to start again, which means leaks are going to start coming. In fact, we already have some supposed leaks that I'll be talking about in this video, along with an official synopsis that was actually released months ago, but is now starting to line up with what we've seen in Wandavision. And one very important thing that the synopsis says mentions something that Agatha Harkness specifically says in the Wandavision finale. And it's extremely important because it has to do with where we left off in Wandavision, what's going to happen in Doctor Strange, and the future of the MCU. So in this video, I'll talk about the plot synopsis, the leaks that line up with the plot synopsis, and what we can expect from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness from the Scarlet Witch. If you're new and you love Marvel, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of the latest MCU news. So like I said, this plot synopsis came out months ago, so you may have heard it already, but it has different meaning now that we've seen WandaVision. But it reads as follows. After the events of Avengers Endgame, Dr. Stephen Strange continues his research on the Time Stone. But an old friend turned enemy seeks to destroy every sorcerer on Earth, messing with Strange's plan and also causing him to unleash an unspeakable evil. So this synopsis is actually extremely important when it comes to what is going to happen in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And even though it doesn't specifically say Wanda or the Scarlet Witch in it, it is definitely referring to her, and I'll explain how. But first, let's address these three extremely important parts of the synopsis, one of which ties directly into something that Agatha Harkness said in the WandaVision finale in episode 9. The first very important part that they mention is the Time Stone. Doctor Strange is going to continue his research on the Time Stone. Now, some people may think, well, the Time Stone and all of the Infinity Stones are destroyed. It's gone. And that is technically true, but that doesn't mean that they're gone forever. If you recall, Thanos said that he simply reduced the stones to atoms.
Where are the stones?
Gone. Reduced to atoms.
You used them 2 days ago.
He used the stones to destroy the stones.
And then the Russo brothers, who directed Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, said that Thanos technically didn't destroy them, he reduced them to atoms, implying that they could be reforged in some way, shape, or form to make the Infinity Stones again. And it sounds like that's a very important thing that Doctor Strange is actually going to need to do, because if you recall what he said in Avengers Infinity War, his job, as he said to Tony Stark, was to protect the reality. And as the Ancient One explained in Avengers Endgame to Professor Hulk, the Infinity Stones make up what we perceive as time. She then says, if the Infinity Stone is gone, without their chief weapon against the forces of darkness, their reality will be overrun. So it's clear that they need the Time Stone in this reality. They need it for several reasons. One is because it kind of is a part of the universe, but two, they need it to fight against the darkness, which is definitely going to come. More on that in the third important point, but in the second important point, they mention a friend turned enemy, and of course we know who this is. This is Mordo. In the post-credit scene of the first Doctor Strange, we learn that Mordo thinks there are too many sorcerers. So when they say that an old friend turned enemy seeks to destroy every sorcerer on Earth, we absolutely know who this is, and of course it's been confirmed that he is going to be returning in this film. And it sounds like he's going to have some pretty interesting interactions with Wanda and could be responsible for her releasing unspeakable evil, which is the third point of this synopsis. It says that Mordo will mess with Doctor Strange's plan and also cause him to unleash unspeakable evil. Now, kind of a spoiler warning for WandaVision episode 9, the finale. If you haven't seen it yet, you might want to click away now. Not huge spoilers, but during the fight between Agatha Harkness and Wanda, Wanda is giving Agatha the energy of chaos magic. Now, of course, that's not really what was happening. Wanda actually embraced her chaos magic, and Agatha says, "You have no idea what you've done." And then when they get back on the ground, Agatha tells Wanda, or now the Scarlet Witch, "You have no idea what you've unleashed. You're going to need me." This falls right in line with the third part of the synopsis, where it says that Mordo is going to mess with Doctor Strange's plan and unleash unspeakable evil. Now, there's a lot that ties into unspeakable evil with Wanda, her chaos magic, and the Darkhold book, which she now has, which was in the post-credit scene of WandaVision. And the directors of both WandaVision and the people who are working on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness have already stated that is the tie-in. Wanda studying the Darkhold in her astral form while while simply casually sipping tea on the outside in the real world, just like Doctor Strange did when he was sleeping but still studying. But let's tie this all together after we go over this plot leak, which take with a grain of salt because you never know, but it seems pretty legitimate. And it starts off by saying the second post-credit scene in Wandavision is a prelude to a scene from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and it takes place in Sokovia. A lot of us were asking, where exactly is Wanda in this post-credit scene? She's kind of in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, but it would make sense that she would go home to Sokovia but want to be secluded, so we really don't have any reason to believe that she wouldn't be in Sokovia. It then goes on to say that Wanda will use the Darkhold to resolve some of her personal issues. Now, this could mean a whole different number of things, but the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear this, and I think a lot of people's minds, is her kids. The last time we left her, she was reading the Darkhold, learning, and then she heard her kids. And I can only assume that she's going to want to try and track them down, and this is going to play a big part in Multiverse of Madness. And then it says that Mordo will pretend to be Wanda's friend in order to have her as an ally. Now, Wanda doesn't really know Doctor Strange that well. She's probably only met him one time in Tony Stark's funeral in Avengers Endgame. Therefore, she wouldn't actually know if Mordo was a good sorcerer or a bad sorcerer, and he could always trick her because he is a talented sorcerer as well and very experienced. And since he's trying to get rid of all of the sorcerers, he is definitely going to be aware of Wanda, especially after we've learned that she is the Scarlet Witch. It then says Agatha could return as Wanda's counselor, and this kind of makes sense because in the comics, Agatha is actually good. She actually helps Wanda learn and develop her powers. Now, of course, in WandaVision, she's evil, but she did say that Wanda was going to need her help, and Wanda said if she does, she knows where to find her. So it is always possible that she goes back and does get the help of Agatha Harkness. It says we will see a team up of interdimensional villains in a perfect CGI sequence never before seen in the MCU, which makes perfect sense because if this show is going to be about the multiverse, and it is, and we're going to be going between dimensions and realities, we can probably expect some pretty good stuff to happen. But it says that there won't be just one villain. Doctor Strange and Wanda will have to fight with threats from several universes which have collapsed. Now, given the title of the film, Multiverse of Madness, this makes absolute sense that they would fight more than one villain from more than one universe. And it says that the biggest person responsible for the villains' plot is Mordo, who will trick Wanda into evoking up Nightmare, but ends up bringing chaos to the multiverse by unleashing interdimensional entities. And one of the main plot points is about the villains trying to destroy Wanda because she is one of the most powerful beings in existence. Now, Nightmare was originally supposed to be the main villain for the first Doctor Strange film, however, they decided to go with Dormammu. But they stated several times that Nightmare was indeed supposed to be the villain of Doctor Strange 2. Now, this was originally supposed to be directed by Scott Derrickson and is now going to be directed by Sam Raimi. But as far as we know, nothing has really changed unless Sam Raimi came in and decided to completely scrap whatever they had, which I don't think is going to happen. Now, based off of everything that we've heard, it's pretty clear that Wanda is going to be pretty responsible for whatever is happening in the Multiverse of Madness. She clearly unleashed something. Agatha Harkness made this pretty clear in the WandaVision finale, and she is actively studying the Darkhold, which is dark, evil magic. The Book of the Damned, made by the evil elder god Cthulhu, and it's definitely capable of releasing very evil entities, which is what it sounds like is going to happen. Now, this obviously is going to concern Doctor Strange, and we obviously know that Wanda isn't bad. She's a good person who went through extremely hard times. So Wanda may accidentally unleash this evil, but she's going to help Doctor Strange try and defeat them. And that seems like what we can expect from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange becomes aware of everything that Wanda just went through, becomes aware that she is the Scarlet Witch, she unleashes some unspeakable evil and some entities, the multiverse kind of gets blown up into madness, and it's up to Strange and Wanda to fix it, but Mordo is going to be trying to stop them. And it seems like that's what we can expect from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But like I said, filming is going to resume soon, and we'll find out a lot more, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. In the meantime, let me know how you feel about this in the comments down below. Would this be something you would like to see on screen? Don't forget to like the video, and for live updates you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.